Welcome back, folks. Today we're flipping compost. It is April 1st, 2025, and I'm excited today because this is going to be the first flip of the bin that we built, or the heap that we built back on March 2nd. And this will be the first time I'm flipping sort of within the system the way it was intended to be, which was fill up bay 1, let it sit for a month, go to bay 2, a month to 3, so on and so forth, and keep refilling bay 1 as it gets flipped out on a monthly basis. So anything that starts on day 1 in bay 1, by day 120, 4 months later, would be on its last day of bay 4. So I'm excited to see how this has gone so far. Bay 1 got filled, like I said, on March 2nd. Within a couple of days, it got up to about 70 degrees. And then about a few weeks after that, maybe around March 18th, it was about 120, and it's been 120 ever since. It never got up to the sweet spot of like 131 to 150, but again, I didn't have any material on hand that was really heavily nitrogen. I had a carbon-rich material in my deciduous leaf fall that was staged for the compost, and then I had a semi-decomposed pile of Bermuda grass that I ripped out of the garden, and that had a combination of pretty decayed matter, but also some stringy Bermuda grass still left over. So I stacked it, and you can see this in the previous video back from early March. It was deciduous leaf, Bermuda grass, so on and so forth, all the way up. Watered it in, a couple weeks later added some more to it as it broke down, but nothing nitrogen heavy. So it never really got hot, but it's going to go through the system today and then 2 more times before it even comes out. So I think we're going to get warm enough to, if not to kill the weed seeds and pathogens, to at least continue to break down the matter at a pretty good rate. So I'm going to walk you over there. We're going to take off a couple panels so we can see the profile, and we'll see what the material looks like, and then we'll get flipping. So let's do this. So the material is a little dry at this point on the top, but you can see we've got some, these are snow pea shoots that I mowed out of the garden. Got some coffee filters. If I dig in, I can start getting to the some of that Bermuda grass compost. If I dig a little deeper, I'll probably find some of those deciduous leaves that were sitting as part of the process. And when I flip this, I'm basically just going to toss it right over this top, right into this bin here. And as it piles up, I'll probably throw, somewhere between 6 and 10 forkfuls over, and then I'll just break it apart with the fork, water it in, move to the next one, so on and so forth, until we build it all the way up. And yeah, we're gonna get a profile shot once I get this this first board off here and take a look at what we got. So we can definitely see the layers that we have here as I was stacking it up. This is going to be from the Bermuda grass bin. This is going to be from the staging area bin that had mostly the deciduous leaf fall in it. And we can see the outside is dry, and that's just the nature of compost piles. As you get closer and closer to the wall or the edge of the ring that you have, regardless of whether or not it has a solid side or or like a mesh side or a wire side where you get a little more airflow, it's still going to have a tendency to dry out there. So we're just going to flip this over, and I'm not going to worry about trying to get the outside to the inside, because my bins just don't really allow for that to be easily done. That might be an easier practice to do when you are in a free area. And what I mean by that is, if you look up compost turning, most kind of professional composters would advise this outer area become your new core, since it's been cooler and drier the whole time. So you basically flip the outside to the inside and the inside kind of back to the outside so that it cooks more evenly. But like I said, the bin system out here doesn't really allow for that, and it's not something I get myself worked up over, because I'm going to be flipping this 1, 2, 3 full times, and then a 4th sort of flip when I move it out of that 4th bin. So yeah, let's get this thing turned, and we'll see how it goes. Should be fun. we're about halfway done here, maybe more than halfway. And this is what the material's looking like as we get closer to the center of the pile and flip it over. It's got a good color to it. The leaves are definitely getting a little matted in there. Obviously, I've never figured out how not to keep fresh material from matting, no matter how well I tried to incorporate 2 or more kinds of material. Like if you have some grass clippings and you're like, oh, I'm going to mix this with wood chips, so you got your carbon and nitrogen ratio. I still wind up with matted messes in the first couple of flips. So this is giving me an opportunity to break that up too. But I'm really pleased with the overall color of the material. I think things are looking pretty good here. I think we're going to have and this is going to go through this whole system for another 90 days. It's 30 days in here, 30 days in bay 3, 30 days in bay 4, and then out somewhere else. So it's got a lot of time to break down. But yeah, I'm pleased with how this is looking. This is going to be a great pile. So bay 1 is now in bay 2, and tomorrow I get to do the same thing. Well, I get to fill up bay 1 again, and the process starts all over again. It's an exciting time seeing compost get hot, get flipped, get some organic matter through the process again, see some bacteria and fungi start doing their job. And the garden itself has really taken off like super quickly. I'm amazed at how fast within a few days things change. This past weekend I took a trip for 3 days. 72 hours of growth in the garden is noticeable in this early springtime, especially when you get a couple of good day and temperatures, which we've had. A little bit of rain here and there, and I'm seeing greening up in a day where I didn't see it the day before. So yeah, really exciting times right now, and I hope you're enjoying yours as well, if you've got one going on. If you liked what you saw today, give the video a thumbs up, click the bell for notifications, subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, post below. I'd love to get a composting chat going on to see what you're doing with your system, if you have one, or if you're looking to build one, what kind are you looking into? And if there's anything else you want to chat about, if there's anything you want to see within the garden that I haven't shown or you want to see more of, again, comment below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. As much as I'm doing this as a video record for myself, I'm also doing this to, bring the experience to you, so that if you're doing the same thing or you're thinking about doing it, you can see what the reality is. Because it's a lot of work, but it's a whole lot more reward. So, appreciate you taking the time today. We'll see you in the next one.